Hey everyone, Scott, Daniel, and our dog Peaches here joining us today. Hope you're doing well. Fourth week of January, just wanted to give you a quick real estate update and share some tips to take care of your home during the wintertime. So just to kind of give you an overview of what's going on in real estate right now, we're still dealing with low inventory, and I know I sound like a broken record. We've been talking about this all year, but we're still very low. And it's not super untypical. We come out of the holiday season and, not a lot of listing activity during that time as people are preoccupied. And then this year we dealt with the snow, which kind of halted some people's preparation. So we got really low in inventory, less than 2 weeks supply, and we're still really dealing with that right now. Take, for example, West Seattle. We only have 19 non-townhome residential options out there right now, and 12 of which have less than 7 days of market time. So if you're a buyer looking in West Seattle, you're likely looking at the same 12 homes that everyone else is looking at. So until we get some more supply to disperse that buyer pool some more, expect some competition out there. That's kind of what we're seeing. Another thing that we're seeing is rates going up a little bit. They're getting closer to 4% now. On one hand, rates going up can spur some buyer activity as people want to lock in those lower rates. But on the other hand, it can also price people out of the market. So it'll be interesting to follow what the rate increases do to the market. Will it kind of quell the demand? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And Dad, what are you kind of seeing out there in the market right now?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Daniel. I think interest rates are going to continue to be on the upward trend, although they're telling us they won't go above 4%. But when you see stock market indications of when the Dow goes up dramatically, you tend to see interest rates really, really jump because people pull out of the bond market, and that causes rates to increase. So the Fed's already said we're going to be increasing rates over this year. We're going to continue with quantitative easing, so you're going to see rates a bit higher. The hope is that causes a little bit of more balance in the marketplace where those trends tend to kind of weed out some of the buyers that are not capable of buying. The big problem we have is affordability. We have a bit of an affordability crisis. When Daniel talked about available inventory in West Seattle, it's not just West Seattle, guys, it's everywhere. The entire King County area went down to like 400 listings. And I think the King, Snohomish, Pierce areas were down to record lows. In essence, shelves bare, no inventory. And that's kind of what happens when we get into the season where people don't really need to list, but the buyer demand is still out there. So we're running into this situation here. We've heard of some situations in the east side where prices and homes are selling for $300,000 to $500,000 over asking. Not going to see that everywhere here, but it's something that you just tend to hear about, and you're like, wow. We always tell our sellers, and we'll tell you this: you do this when you're ready, and whatever you're ready, the timing is right, but it needs to be whenever people are ready. There really is no need to not list in February or not list in April. Right now, the market needs inventory, and the pricing should hold fairly strong through that time frame. We have heavy inflation right now, consumer price index at 7%. And that wage issue with people bringing less and less money home is going to weigh on the housing market at some point. It has to. So we're going to begin to see maybe more inventory building onto the market and less of it moving off the market so rapidly and so quickly. But this time of the year, it's just really hard to tell what's going to happen. So it'll be a really interesting 2022 for sure. 4 things, guys, just want to give you quickies on the most important things to do for winterizing your home. 1, make sure your furnace is in good operating order. Switch out your filters every month during the heating season. It's a really good idea to do that. Keep that furnace working cleanly. If you need it serviced, get it serviced, but make sure you've got those CO2 detectors operational. You don't want to be breathing any bad air, and you want to be sure that furnace is operating the way it's supposed to be operating. Second thing you really want to be thinking about is chimneys. A lot of people like to burn during this time of year. So if you're using a wood stove, burning a lot, don't want to have a chimney fire, you might want to have your chimney inspected and cleaned. It's not a bad idea to do that in the summer months if you can, but if needed during the winter, you want to keep yourself from having any sort of an issue with the chimney that could cause major damage. Third thing, gutters, downspouts, big deal. During this heavy snow situation with heavy rain following it is the worst case scenario for basement water issues and for foundation problems. So why so much snow, frozen, compacted, then it thaws and melts along with heavy rain behind it. You're dealing with a 5-gallon bucket of water dumping next to your foundation every hour on the hour, and that probably happened for a solid week. Thus, you run into the Perkins Lanes issues, things like that, where you've got sloughing and some issues with foundations, and you also have a lot of people who have wet basements that have never had them before. Get that splash block, $1.99, put it next to and underneath your downspout, and divert that water 1.5 feet away from the foundation. You'll be a lot happier. Last thing, put those freeze protectors on this time of year. It's a good time. We're just about through the season by the end of February, early March, where you can take those freeze protectors off. But get those hoses on the outside completely turned off. Put that freeze protector on and leave it on for the remainder of the winter months. It'll help save you from any sort of internal water issues that may happen from a freeze. So that's all I've got, guys. I hope you have a great start to the year. We sure are thinking of you and hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Take care.
Have a great one, everybody.